the surprising meaning behind a dream about a vagina that you should never ignore. The general meaning of dreaming about vaginas isn't as straightforward as it sounds. Vagina dreams generally represent femininity, nurturing, or feelings about sexuality and intimacy. On a personal note, this dream could be based on your unique experiences and what's been going on in your life. Maybe you're exploring your sexuality. Maybe you are struggling creatively. Maybe you're longing for deeper personal connections. Or maybe you're beginning to question the way you normally come up with creative ideas. But if you've had this dream or you're going through these dreams, it feels weird or uncomfortable. It might mean your brain is saying you feel worried or nervous about something. You definitely should sit up and pay attention. You should be pleased if you dream about a pink vagina. Here is why. Some people believe that this dream imagery is a sign of fertility and new beginnings. It doesn't necessarily mean you'll become a parent soon, but it can mean new ideas and opportunities. Others believe that it is a symbol of femininity and sexuality. If you're a guy and you're having this type of dream, it could mean that you need to get in better touch with the nurturing or creative side of your persona. Still, others believe it is simply a reflection of the dreamer's thoughts and desires and unconscious feelings about their body. You will be surprised if you know that the real meaning of seeing your vagina in a dream. Dreaming about your vagina can symbolize your femininity, sexuality, and self-image. It can also signify new beginnings, growth in different areas, and changes that you may not be aware of. But sometimes this dream could symbolize your way of processing feelings about insecurity regarding body autonomy, as well as the person that you see when you look in the mirror. But sometimes this could also symbolize inner anxieties, concerns about your place in the world, especially as projected onto your body, identity, or relationships. It might be time to embrace the totality of you. Remember, it took a long time for you to be comfortable with yourself, and you might not even be all that comfortable yet. Don't let all that work or time go to waste. Learn to embrace yourself. Focus on who you are, who you've been, and how much work it took to accept yourself. Celebrate yourself. By doing so, you'll be able to embrace the totality of your being and come out a better person. The most surprising discovery of the meaning of seeing someone else's vagina in a dream. Dreaming about someone else's vagina is often seen as a symbol of fertility, creativity, and new beginnings from a vicarious point of view. It's as if you are able to see all these things happening to other people around you, but they themselves are clueless as to what's happening. It could also be a sign that you're feeling insecure or threatened if you're filled with some sort of negative emotion when you're dreaming these images. A lot of people feel good when bad things happen to other people. A lot of people think that they can get ahead when bad things happen to others or if they drag down others. You are struggling with these types of feelings and you're not all that happy because when you go through these thought processes and these intrusive thoughts, you can't help but focus on the fact that there are certain things missing in your life that other people might be enjoying. So now is the time to maybe let go of those insecurities and learn to be happy for others, just as you are happy fully embracing who you are and what you've become. Here's why you should not ignore a dream about a hairy vagina. In general, a dream about a hairy vagina is a sign of power. It is a sign of fully embracing the natural elements of your total persona. There's nothing left to prove. There's no one to become. You just are who you are. Believe it or not, a lot of people have a tough time getting to this stage, so pat yourself on the back. It is a reclamation of your personal power, maybe rooted in sexuality, maybe rooted in your sense of humor or insight, whatever the case may be. Nurture it. Otherwise, it can easily become a source of insecurity or unneeded anxiety. You should be happy if you dream about kissing a vagina, and here's why. Dreaming of kissing a vagina often symbolizes a desire for intimacy, connection, or some sort of linkage to the deep, creative, intuitive, and insightful part of your persona. All of us have this, regardless of our gender. The problem is a lot of us learn to believe early on that it is our rational or logical side that takes our lives forward. Well, that may be true for part of the equation, but it's definitely not the whole picture. So by learning to be comfortable with the parts of yourself that give you insight or hunches when you least expect, you will probably be able to make better decisions, and this could lead to a more fulfilling life. The surprising meaning of a dream of touching your vagina. Dreaming about touching your vagina is not a sexual dream. Let's get that out of the way. Instead, when you touch this part of your body, regardless of whether you're a guy or a female, it indicates getting in touch with your inner desires, self-exploration, or possibly even shaking loose or confronting a lot of the taboos about your personal narrative that you've been hanging on for too long. A lot of these are often phrased in sexual terms, but in reality, they are questions that we would rather sweep under the rug. Maybe they are our own version of the 800-pound elephant in the room. Everybody can see it, but you choose to be blind to it. But guess what? Refusing to acknowledge it doesn't make it go away. If you see this type of dream, you're touching yourself, understand that this is an opportunity for you to confront issues that you may have been trying to deny all along. This is why you should act fast if you dream of cleaning your vagina. Dreams about cleaning your vagina can be a sign of serious attempts on a subconscious level to truly get in touch with your insightful and imaginative creative side. I don't care how rational you think you are. 9 times out of 10, your decisions are made in a less than rational way. It's as if you make a call and then you come up with a reasonable sounding explanation later on. There's nothing to apologize for. This is how a lot of people make choices. They make impulsive choices. They make emotional decisions. And there's really nothing wrong with this. The key is to get in touch with that part of our persona so that 9 times out of 10, we make the right choices. We don't just make workarounds or expend unnecessary effort and resources trying to turn something that is halfway wrong into something that's fully right. If you understand how this works, you will be able to make more fully informed and correct decisions for the rest of your life. A dream of a wound on your vagina might have a deeper meaning than you imagine. A wound on the vagina can specifically represent feelings of insecurity about your sexual past or the nurturing side of your personality. Again, this can apply to both men and women. Just because you're a man and you dream about having a vagina doesn't mean that you're dreaming something wrong. Think symbolically. Dreams about wounds symbolize vulnerability, pain, and emotional trauma. The wound could represent a symbolic blow to your self-esteem or ego. Reflect on your emotional state and consider putting together a journal of past trauma to identify where this psychic disturbance is coming from. You should be concerned if you dream of discharge from your vagina, and here's why. Dreams about vaginal discharge can be a sign of anxiety or stress and deep and profound insecurity. When you notice that the discharge is abnormal or smelly, this can indicate that there are issues in your life that are simply going off track. You think you have them under control. You may even comfort yourself thinking that other people are handling that area of your life. Don't fool yourself. things are actually worse than they look. So if you see yourself, whether you're a man or a woman, suffering from vaginal discharge in your dreams, pay close attention to what's really going on in your finances, your relationships, as well as your work life. Things are not what they seem. Don't be too quick to assume that things are normal and under control. You should know this if you dream of blood from your vagina. Blood dreams are often associated with life force. Blood, after all, ensures life. If you run out of blood, you're going to die. It really is that simple. If you dream about blood coming from your vagina, your subconscious is trying to send you a symbol regarding your personal vitality. You may not be taking care of things as you think you are. And this is where the problem is. It's a question of awareness. This may apply to your relationships. This may apply to your self-image. This might even have something to do with how you perform at work. Whatever the case may be, focus on the effort you're putting into things. Is it the right level? Is it the right kind? Are you even making the right choices? You have to understand that if you are clear as to the quality of the life force going through your daily activities, you can greatly improve the outcomes that you are receiving. The meaning of dream about an ugly vagina will leave you shaking your head, and here is why. Dreaming about an ugly vagina in your dreams could be a sign that you're not really sure about how you've turned out. This is a self-esteem issue. A lot of the times we try to please other people. We try to live out other people's expectations of us. But when we do that, we end up wearing different masks, and at the end of the day, we feel disappointed with ourselves. Why? We lived our lives for other people and not for ourselves. So when you see yourself confronted with an ugly vagina, it's ugly precisely because you made it ugly. It's precisely unattractive because it feels so foreign to you. It is not your own creation because you never accepted it in the first place. The same applies to your life. Pay close attention to your goals and life dreams. Are they truly your own? Or are you living up to somebody else's expectations? The real meaning of a dream about your wife's vagina will shock you. If you see yourself married in your dream and you're paying close attention to your wife's vagina, this could be a sign that you are going through a maturity process with somebody close to you. This is where partners actually become lifetime soulmates. This is where lovers transition into soul lovers. Regardless of what analogy you use, the end result is the same. You come in two totally different people, and you come out one unified identity. To some people, this is scary. To others, this is the goal that they've been waiting for in all their relationships throughout their lives. You just have to be emotionally ready for it and be ready to spell love in a totally different way. Instead of L-O-V-E, real love is spelled sacrifice. In other words, to gain a new real relationship that would sustain you for the rest of your life, you have to give up part of yourself. That's how it really works. Pay close attention to a dream about a small vagina. When you see a small vagina, it indicates feelings of inadequacy. It indicates a comparative mindset. Are you the type of person who's constantly comparing yourself to other people? Are you the type of person who feels bad when good things happen to other people? This is not necessarily a bad thing. Just be aware of it and understand that for them to be happy doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be miserable. You can be happy together. You can live your life in the world a fully complete, happy, self-sustaining, self-sufficient, emotionally mature person, while others are also happy. Aim for that. Don't allow your joy to be shaken by what you see in the world. Try to be more emotionally self-sufficient. The key takeaway in all of this is don't be alarmed about dreams about vaginas. They can show you things about intimacy, self-awareness, vulnerability, and other issues in your life that you may not be fully aware of. If you enjoy this dream interpretation, please subscribe to our channel and like our videos. Let us know your dream details so we can interpret them for our next video. Thanks for coming.